Yeah, and they all flock to the front to find out where they go.
Right. And you have it on the board,
Yeah.
and you have the color tabs. So,
Yep.
so for somebody like me and some of your, your higher students, they get, oh, I go here.
Yeah.
But then there's a few, well.
No, but he's still looking. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so this ended up being, it's a minute 30 video, and so it was a smoother transition than the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I think the more we do stations, the smoother that will get.
Right.
But
I think you putting a focus on it
Mm-hmm.
will make it important to your kids because you got it lined out for them, but for some reason they're still not.
Well, I think what I need to do is talk about it.
There they are. They all.
Yeah. Now they're all going. The minute and a half ago. I think what would help is if I talked about it on a class that wasn't station day. Like say, hey, let's talk about yesterday whenever we were switching stations.
Right.
Some of you were having trouble with. Because if I do it on station day, that's me talking for 2 minutes, and that's time because it's very time sensitive. Like I spent 2 minutes talking at the beginning, just say here's station, here's station, here's station. So I think as we do it more, that will get better.
Mm-hmm.
But me mentioning it and focusing on it would help a lot. I could see that and that was something I was worried about. Because transitioning and something like that where there's so much movement, maybe them having put their bags somewhere, have a bag drop or don't bring your bags to class tomorrow, maybe even it's like we don't need backpacks.
Right.
Well, where's my backpack? I gotta lug it around and find it before I go to the next place. That could probably be a helpful thing, but I wouldn't have thought about it if you wouldn't have brought the video up. I've been aware of it, but would I have done anything about it?
To see it is better than me to just say it.
Indeed.
Is it something big? No, but if you add it up amongst a full class, if you have 4 transitions, 4 times 2, that's 8 minutes. It's almost a whole nother station.
Yeah, it's like losing a station time.
Right, and you've got the classroom management that the kids will do whatever you say. It's just you pointing it out to them. So within each group, I want to dig into that just a little bit before we conclude. Teaching strategies that you kind of feel like are the most beneficial to kids, because I see different things within those groups. If you'll talk about that. Your group we've talked about one-on-one, and we talked about the group of the makeup test. Talk to me about the other groups and the teaching strategies that you're kind of implementing.
I think one of the biggest things that helps kids learn is when they can teach each other. And that's what I'm trying to go with the target groups and their master. And there are some groups that are more successful than others. And after the first time around, I've kind of pinpointed kids that are better at it than others.
Right.
The kids that are masters, you learn something through teaching it more than anything else.
Absolutely.
So they are really getting it. They're going to be high up there on that, depth of knowledge. And then hearing it from a peer, as far as the other ones, hey, this is my peer talking to me. Maybe they'll respect it or listen to it a little more than me. So I love that aspect of it. And I think that's a great way to handle the stations. And, that's something me and Ms. Poole talked about, and that's really big in the framework, students taking responsibility for their learning.
Yep.
And, and I see that when they come in and they look at the board and they say, ooh, I'm a master of, they get excited about that.
Right.
I didn't get a master. Or, ooh, I've got free time. So that they really have invested in it. Right. So I like that part of it as well. But that's the big teaching strategy that I'm using is, I'm doing less, the kids are doing more. Right? And that's the strategy that it's taken me a while to kind of give up that control because I'm worried about the transitioning, and I want to be, everything to be quiet, everybody listening, because I think they get more from that. But, the research doesn't say that, they really learn more from each other and working in a group and talking and I just got to surrender to that, I guess. And it's hard to do as a math teacher.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, they're not getting it. They could just hear me say it, thinking I'm, the best thing in the world. But
I know. Like at the high school, they're always pushing their teachers to do new strategies. I heard Mr. Bradley talking about whisper reading. That's a big strategy he loves.
Yeah.
But you also had on the iPads. Talk to me about the others where they were doing the iPads.
Well, we have the program MobiMax, which our labs use a lot to just kind of, differentiate where the kid is. That program meets them where they're at, and they get to work on things that's their level. And it's a station where they kind of get to work with technology. They kind of look at it as a, hey, I get to go to the iPad, but they're still doing something that's productive. It's not just wasted 13 minutes of I need somewhere to put them.
Right.
They all have an account, so I only had 2 people that had issues logging on today. So that's good. That's a good thing with the group I have, to have only 2. So, and they came to me, and it was a pretty quick fix. But, that's just, using technology in the classroom, a program that we have that's available, a resource we have in the iPad. That's just something different. I want every station to be, I don't want them to go, oh, here we go again, we're doing another worksheet at this station.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that they would not look forward to station day. And I had a lot of good comments about stations, like, oh man, I wish we'd do this more.
Right.
I was like, that's good. I wish I could have time to schedule for it more. It does take a lot of time to schedule and get everybody in the right place where they need to be. But it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
It took me 2 days of planning to kind of pan out the schedule, and miss pool 2 days to get all of the worksheets. And, it was a big ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
But, we reap what we're sowing. We know what we're sowing, I feel like.
Right. Talking about that, when's like the next time do you think that you'll get stations in? When's the next time you think you'll get to do that?
Probably after Christmas.
Okay.
We got 2 weeks after tomorrow. We got 2 weeks, and we probably will get another quiz in, another major assessment right before the break. And we have planned for our kids to have some rewards for their star growth after they take that. We got another star test day, so there's some stuff in there we're going to lose some instructional time as far as doing assessments and rewards.
Right.
But when we get back, we should have those results ready to go. They might be a little rusty, which would be good, to jump back in.
Right.
And I can get rid of that retake station. Especially then, because they're
Yeah.
not going to be ready for a retake after being off for 2 weeks.
Right.
And we can play around with what kind of new station can we develop. The nice thing about it is it's flexible. This time I threw in a new station, and the new station, which was really successful, was that one in the middle,
Yeah.
where they were working on what we did yesterday in class.
Right.
It was fresh. Everybody was working together. That was probably the smoothest going station I had
Right.
because it was so recent.
That's the flexibility part.
It is.
Big
It is.
deal.
So maybe I throw in another station like that. Where it's not just a worksheet. Maybe it's a online something or another.
Right. What I'd like for you to do is next time you're going to do those
Mm-hmm.
and start planning, just let me know because I want to come in and check out, and we'll look at the transition piece and see how you adjusted that.
See if it's got to be better.
Right. Well, I think it will. I just
Yeah.
think you can. I think that's something you can fix, but that'll give you more time within your stations. I really appreciate what you're doing, and thanks for doing the stations and meeting with me today.
No problem.